It's great to have salads all the way through the year really, and when you buy them they never stay fresh, so you can grow your own very easily at home for most of the year. Living where I do in North Yorkshire, I can have salads from March, April time right the way through till about November, so for much of the year. They grow in the garden, but if you've got somewhere you can grow them protected, you can extend the season, and I grow lots of them in pots, and it's a really handy way to do it, because by growing them in pots, when they're at a reasonable size to harvest, you can take them down and stand them on a kitchen windowsill or by the back door, so they're handy. So the secret is to sow little and often, because once the plants get too big and go over, you're then going to have a gap. So I like to sow some seeds probably every 3 weeks through the season, and that way we've always got a lovely new flush of leaves. So I tend to do some of them in these very shallow bowls, have them years and just keep recycling the bowl, and I've filled that with a nice open sort of mix of compost there. This is a bagged multi-purpose compost, and I mix in a woolen compost, so that's giving it a good mixture to grow in. Just lightly firm it and level it out, and then we can sow the seeds. Now you're spoilt for choice when it comes to salads. We can get the traditional lettuce, of course, we get the leafy one, we can get the hearting ones, but there are lots of mixtures now that have mustard in there. We've got lamb's lettuce, mizuna, mustard, landcress, rocket, and they've all got spicy flavours and really zing up a salad. But what I'm growing at the moment is just a leaf lettuce, and it's what we call an oak leaf lettuce or salad bowl, and it's a mixed green and red one, so it just adds a bit of colour to a salad. And all we're going to do is sow these nice and thinly over the surface. We call this broadcast sowing, so they're not in rows. We're just going to sprinkle our seed nice and evenly over there like that. Not too thick, otherwise they're going to get too crowded and they'll smother each other, so I think that is probably plenty of seeds there. The spare ones in the packet, and we can sow those in a few weeks' time. And then I need to cover these over with just a very thin layer of compost, just 3-4 millimeters, that's all. It just keeps them moist. So just the same compost, and I'm just very carefully just rubbing that through my fingers and putting it on evenly until the seed pretty much disappears from sight. You could use a little sieve if you've got one, but that is absolutely fine. Just give it a tap to settle it, and then lastly, of course, we need to give it a drink, because it's important that they get the moisture. So just with a fine rose on a little watering can, give them a good soak, and then they want to be kept cool. If lettuce and lots of salad leaves get too hot in the middle of the summer, the seeds become dormant and they don't germinate. So I'm going to leave these outside against a north-facing wall where they're in the shade, and they'll germinate then in about a week. And then what will happen is we keep them watered, keep them nice and moist, and in about 3 weeks' time we will have a bowl of lettuce like that, which are now big enough to pick and enjoy them in salads. And so fresh, better than anything you buy in a bag that's all wilty.